Jose Mourinho has aimed a dig at Manchester United's privileged title rivals, pointing out the additional day that Pep Guardiola's side have been handed in the fixture schedule.
Manchester City do not play until Wednesday night against Newcastle, while United, 13 points behind the Premier League leaders, face Burnley at Old Trafford on Tuesday.
Arsenal also do not play until Thursday away at Crystal Palace, and being left with less time to recover and prepare has rubbed Mourinho the wrong way.
"I'm not just saying about the privileged ones with 6 days to recover and to enjoy and to prepare for the next one," Mourinho said in a Christmas Day interview. "But also the ones with a little bit more than us, for example the ones that play after Boxing Day.
That extra day means a lot.
It means probably they are not working today, they can be back to work tomorrow to prepare for the next day."
The problem that I see here is the difference between some teams.
What I call December injuries in English football, they are arriving.
It depends on many factors, but we opened the door for what I call December injuries. Guardiola's City beat Bournemouth 4-0 in a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, while Mourinho's United conceded a stoppage-time equaliser in a 2-2 draw at Leicester later on the night.
"I hope we play as well as we did against Leicester," Mourinho continued.
"Because in 10 matches, if you play as well as we did or create as many chances as we did, in 9 matches you win 3-0 or 4-0.
What happened was what we call unpredictable football, and it happened to us.
We played so well, we played so creative, we created so many chances, but of course in football you have to score the goals and chances are not enough." Meanwhile, the criticism Mourinho leveled at his United players was concerning enough in isolation.
But in a wider context, his accusations of their childish approach in the draw at Leicester should ring even louder alarm bells.
Coincidentally, it was at the King Power Stadium under dark skies Mourinho turned his fury on his Chelsea players in December 2015.
He accused them of betrayal for a failure to carry out instructions after a 2-1 loss. He was sacked 3 days later.
This juncture at United is far from as critical, but 2 years on there was similar venom in the Portuguese's words and a willfulness to place blame on his team. Mourinho is not prepared to play the role of dugout babysitter amid, in his view, immaturity on the pitch.
Given Mourinho's position is much stronger than it was at Chelsea, that stance spells trouble for a number of United players who it seems have tried the 54-year-old's patience too many times.
The winter transfer window opens next week and Mourinho will have money to spend on finding replacements.
Beginning with Burnley, bridging the record 13-point Christmas gap to City appears impossible, but Mourinho sounded in the mood to make changes for next season already.
Anthony Martial, Jesse Lingard, and Marcus Rashford all spurned glorious chances to extend a 2-1 lead brought by a Juan Mata brace, and then as the minutes ticked down, United's defense failed to react to the groin injury sustained by Chris Smalling. meaning the immobile defender was up against Harry Maguire when the Leicester player steered in a dramatic late equaliser.
Half an hour after the second goal is a game to finish 4-5, 6-1, said Mourinho.
And not just we missed big chances in front of goal, but easy possession to have.
And then in the last minute we had players without the capacity to analyze the game, to see that Smalling was in trouble.
I think a very immature team in both hands.
Damningly, Mourinho added, some players have childish decisions and time helps them to have maturity and to decide better.
But some other players stay with childish decisions until the end of their career. Rather than putting those offending players on the naughty step to elicit a reaction, Mourinho's assessment came across as a genuine threat to get rid for good.
Gary Neville admonished Smalling for a failure to flag up his injury sooner or with greater clarity, and he also suggested that when Phil Jones tried to reorganize by bringing Victor Lindelof to a central position and Ander Herrera to right back, the Spaniard refused, signaling for Henrique Mkhitaryan to drop back instead.
You cannot believe the lack of coordination and leadership shown at the end of that game, Neville said.
Ashley Young, who had received Mourinho's touchline instructions, allowed Maguire to run behind him apparently in the belief Smalling would pick up.
But Mourinho's deep irritation was also the result of offensive naivety.
Lingard was lackadaisical in hitting the post with an open goal, Martial unfocused when ballooning over with her only Kasper Schmeichel to beat, and Rashford hesitant when one-on-one.
Aside from the clear-cut chances, there were countless wasted opportunities to counter effectively as 10-man Leicester pushed for a goal to add to Jamie Vardy's opener.
Mourinho's general style, away from home particularly, is to wait for opponents to break in a defensive sense and therefore leave gaps to exploit. Liverpool never did at Anfield in October, so Mourinho was satisfied with the point in spite of outside critique.
But Leicester were most certainly fragmented at the back, only for United to fail to take full advantage.
Mkhitaryan was guilty in one move and Nemanja Matic in another, trying to feed Romelu Lukaku, who was clearly offside, rather than maintain possession.
The draw meant United are 6 points better off at this stage of the season compared to last, but with City's mountainous lead and a result that felt like defeat, Mourinho was in no mood to entertain the Christmas spirit. "You know I'm not thinking of that," he said.
I'm looking at this match and the only thing I can say is that it was an easy match to win. Even at halftime with result 1-1, I told the players more than one time, the match is very easy to win.
And we didn't. Mourinho will expect better against Burnley, but it may already be too late for some.